trap. Detective, Inspector Pennywise. Inspector Pennywise is the world's foremost expert on financial mysteries. With a sharp eye for the smallest clues and a nose for nonsense, he's dedicated to helping people escape the clutches of poverty. His latest case, solving the mystery of why so many people remain stuck in financial struggles. Scene 1, the case of the serial splurger. Inspector Pennywise receives a frantic call from Splurge Singh, a man who Inspector Pennywise. Inspector Pennywise is the world's foremost expert on financial mysteries. With a sharp eye for the smallest clues and a nose for nonsense, he's dedicated to helping people escape the clutches of poverty. His latest case, solving the mystery of why so many people remain stuck in financial struggles. Scene 1, the case of the serial splurger. Inspector Pennywise receives a frantic call from Splurge Singh, a man who can't seem to hold on to his money for more than a minute. Inspector, I don't know where my money goes. I keep spending it on things I don't need. Inspector Pennywise arrives, takes one look at the piles of unopened gadgets, and smirks. Ah, Mr. Singh, you've fallen into the trap of serial splurging. The first rule of avoiding poverty: don't buy things you don't need with money you don't have. Your credit card is not a magic wand. It's a financial boomerang that always back to hit you. Splurge Singh nods sheepishly, resolving to cut back on impulse purchases and start living within his means. Scene 2, the procrastination ploy. Next, Inspector Pennywise visits lazy Lolita, who's been stuck in the same low-paying job for years. Inspector, I know I should be looking for better opportunities, but I keep putting it off. There's always tomorrow, right? Pennywise chuckles. Ah, Lolita, you've been caught in the procrastination ploy. The second rule: don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Go out and find them. Poverty loves procrastinators. The sooner you take action, the sooner you'll see results. Lolita, inspired by Pennywise's advice, starts applying for new jobs and learning new skills. Scene 3, the debt disaster. Next up is loaner Lalu, who's drowning in debt. Inspector, I took out loans for everything. My car, my phone, even my TV. Now the interest is killing me. Inspector Pennywise raises an eyebrow. Lalu, you're a victim of the debt disaster. The third rule: don't dig yourself into debt for things that don't increase in value. Focus on paying off high-interest debts first, and think twice before borrowing money for anything that isn't essential. Lalu gets to work on a repayment plan, finally seeing a light at the end of the debt tunnel. Scene 4, the case of the keep-up curse. Inspector Pennywise's next stop is at the home of Fancy Farida, who's always trying to keep up with her wealthy friends. Inspector, my neighbor just got a new car, so I had to get one too. Now I'm broke. Pennywise shakes his head. Farida, you've fallen prey to the keep-up curse. The fourth rule: don't compare yourself to others or try to match their spending. 2, live within your means, and remember, true wealth isn't about flashy possessions, it's about financial security. Farida decides to focus on her own financial goals instead of keeping up with the Joneses. Scene 5, the case of the career complacency. Next, Inspector Pennywise encounters Stuck Singh, who's been in the same low-paying job for years without ever seeking growth. Inspector, I've been doing the same thing for years. How can I ever get ahead? Pennywise sighs. Stuck, you've been trapped by career complacency. The fifth rule: don't stay in a job that doesn't offer growth or advancement. Invest in yourself. Take courses, improve your skills, and seek opportunities that allow you to grow. Stuck Singh starts learning new skills and looking for better job opportunities, determined to climb the career. Scene 6, the savings sabotage. Inspector Pennywise then visits spendthrift Sita, who can't seem to save any money. Inspector, every time I get paid, I blow it all on the weekend. There's never anything left to save. Pennywise nods knowingly. Sita, you're caught in the savings sabotage. The sixth rule: don't spend every rupee you earn. Always pay yourself first by putting aside savings before you start spending. Even small amounts add up over time. Sita sets up an automatic savings plan, ensuring that she always puts something away for the future. Scene 7, the blame game. Inspector Pennywise next meets with Excuse Alley, who blames everyone and everything for his financial woes, except himself. Inspector, it's the economy, my boss, my parents, everyone's fault that I'm broke. Pennywise shakes his head. Alley, you're stuck in the blame game. The seventh rule, don't blame others for your financial situation. Take responsibility and start making changes. You have the power to improve your circumstances if you stop pointing fingers and start taking action. Ali finally decides to take charge of his finances, creating a budget and sticking to it. Scene 8, the education evasion. Pennywise then meets uninformed Uma, who doesn't believe in learning about money. Inspector, I just don't get all this finance stuff. I'm too old to start learning now. Pennywise adjusts his magnifying glass. Uma, you're a victim of education evasion. The eighth rule, don't ignore financial education. The more you know about managing money, investing, and saving, the better equipped you'll be to avoid poverty. It's never too late to learn. Uma enrolls in a personal finance course and starts reading up on money management. Scene 9, the passive penny. Next is passive Piyush, who just waits for things to get better on their own. Inspector, I'm sure things will improve eventually, so I just keep doing what I've always done. Pennywise looks stern. Piyush, you've been caught by the passive penny trap. The ninth rule, don't wait for your situation to change. Take action to change it yourself. Passivity is the enemy of progress. Piyush decides to take a more active role in his finances, seeking out better opportunities and making strategic decisions. Scene 10, the short-term syndrome. Finally, Inspector Pennywise visits short-sighted Shilpa, who only thinks about the here and now. Inspector, I'm just living for today. Why worry about the future? Pennywise gives a knowing smile. Shilpa, you're suffering from short-term syndrome. The 10th rule, don't neglect the future. Plan for it. Whether it's retirement, emergencies, or long-term goals, thinking ahead is the key to escaping poverty. Shilpa starts setting long-term financial goals and begins saving and investing for her future. With each case solved, Inspector Pennywise helps his clients avoid the 10 deadly traps that keep people poor. Armed with his wisdom and a dash of humor, he shows that anyone can escape poverty with the right mindset and actions. As he tips his hat and walks into the sunset, he knows that his work is far from over. There are always more financial mysteries to solve.